Hi, my name is Bob Brislin. I'm 55 years old and I've been coming to this facility for a couple months now. So I've had this history of hip pain, or what I thought was hip pain, and it stems from a wakeboarding incident that happened like 20 years ago. I wasn't very good at wakeboarding, my first time out there, and when I was trying to bend my legs or press forward on the board, I didn't want to let go of the rope. I was trying to get up and the boat was pulling me in it, and I remember jamming my leg, and the pain at that day was intense. And after that, I didn't really, I couldn't really do anything. It was limping around everywhere, and it's just, I never went to the doctor for that. It was just something that actually got better a little bit over time. And now 20 years later, I started really feeling the effects of that. My commute to work is about a 1-hour drive, and I would be in tears because my hip would be so tight sitting in traffic for that hour. I had to do something. So I started Googling what can I do for a tight hip flex or groin. I mean, that's where my pain levels were up to a 10. I tried deep tissue massage, acupuncture. All these things worked temporarily. Is the best answer for that. Maybe a day, maybe 2 days later, it would be right back to where it was. So I didn't want my life to be, acupuncture every other day. I found Chattanooga Non-Surgical Orthopedics, another Google search, and I figured, why not? Let's give it a shot. And honestly, I had my reservations. When I first came here, it kind of looked like a chiropractor's office. It was the same kind of bed, same kind of therapy, but they took it to another level. I got the shots, so I took some of those shots here. The way that they manipulated my back, my low back, they thought it was a low back issue, not a hip issue. And it turned out they were probably right, because they focused on my low back. And 2, 3, 4 weeks in, my pain level was dropping from a 10 to an 8 to a 6 to a 4. And the last couple of weeks I came here, it was down to a 1 or a 2. So when they asked me what my pain level was, it was like, I'm not in pain anymore. I'm happy. This works. And the doctors here, the therapists that worked with me, they're so nice. I've been to other doctors that would take an x-ray, look at me and say, yeah, that looks like it hurts, but not offer anything, for treatment. Whereas here, I would say that my hip hurts, and they would look at it, they would manipulate, they would feel, and they'd be like, well, how does it feel back here? What happens if I do this? It was more a team effort as opposed to doctor-patient. I felt like we were family. I felt like we were on the same team, and that's big marks in my book. Post-recovery, after my initial treatment here, and I'm actually still coming back once a month for an adjustment, but that's more just so I don't lose the progress that I've made. But I have learned in the therapy room here a couple of exercises that I always do before I get an adjustment that I've taken into my daily life. And some of the exercises that we do, I still do them. I don't just do them here, I do them at home. When I get up, I'm super stiff. I do a couple of those cat-cow things that I learned here, and boom, I'm flexible again. Believe it or not, 55 years old, stiff as a board, flexible. I can use that term to describe myself now. And I will say I highly recommend Chattanooga Non-Surgical Orthopedics for anybody that feels like I've tried everything. Well, I was the guy that tried everything and nothing worked until I found this. So I highly suggest it. Give it a shot. Just come in, just try a couple of adjustments, see what happens. After adjustment number 1, I saw enough of a difference that I wanted to make this almost a lifestyle. This is something that I need to keep doing because it makes me feel alive.